Okay, so, ooh, it's loud. Okay, it's June 22nd, 1975. I walked into my first newsroom, and it was a great time for women and people of color because all of a sudden we could be in newsrooms and take our place at the table. Here I am, there I am, first woman to smoke cigarettes in that newsroom, which was unallowed. We were able to wear pants. We thought that we were really going to change things, right? We thought there were going to be all sorts of opportunities. Fast forward, 2002, I become the first woman editor of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Every day I walked by that guy, Henry Grady, a former editor, and I always wondered what he'd think if I knew he knew I was in that job. And again, I thought, we're really making change. I thought about my daughters who were born in the 90s, and I thought that even though I faced a lot of crap and put up with a lot of stuff, that my daughters would face a different world. Unfortunately, that is not what's happened. We look at the diversity numbers in newsroom and they're bad. AS&E had to ask people, please, please give us your numbers. We need to know. That's how bad it is. AAJA the Voices group just did a study where they rounded up a lot of the information on pay equity. The fact is that if you're a woman or if you're a person of color, you are more likely to make less money. And oh, by the way, here's some advice, just ask for more money and it'll be good, right? You look at the people in the top. There was a period of time where we thought we were really making progress on this, but what we found is that's not true. You look at the people leading many of our news organizations today, and again, they don't look that different than the past. And then there's this. I think it has to stop. It's been almost 45 years since I walked into my first newsroom, and I would have never expected that we would be where we are today. It is time for change. Now, this is the part of the speech where everybody applauds, right? Everybody says, yeah, absolutely, we've got to have change, right? Things have to change. And then what happens? Nothing, right? Unfortunately, what we have done is we have thought about diversity as something that is good to do and not something that is smart to do. Until we understand that the only way to save journalism is to begin with diversity, we will make no progress. We put it in a box. We said, here's this little diversity box we're going to work on. And then we sort of do it off to the side. But it hasn't worked. If you look at the amount of money that's being spent right now on saving journalism, understanding its importance in our democracy, but only a small portion goes to diversity, and it is not integrated into everything we do. We have got to stop trying. It is time that we actually act on what we do and that we say we are going to make real changes, because if we don't, it will impact, we will have no success. We cannot be credible. We cannot connect with communities unless we reflect them. And it starts at the top. Here's two people I want to mention. Al Newharth, a lot of you know, was one of the early people. But Raju did something really interesting. We had a session at the Freedom Forum, where he where only one male CEO was there talking about the Me Too movement. It was him. 5 pieces of, Bob Maynard talked about 5 fault lines. It's not just about gender, it's not just about race, it's about a whole variety of issues. And if we approach them all, and whether it's age, whatever, that's how we get to credibility and we really begin to make change. I will be having a session later, Women's Caucus for women over 60, if anybody's interested, we could do that. But here's the bottom line. Kristen Gilger and I are working on a book in which we're talking about women leaders in journalism, and we've talked to over 100 of them, and they are inspirational stories. And so at this time, I come away optimistic that we can make a difference, that even though my daughters didn't have the opportunity for a different world, hopefully their daughters will. And it's up to all of us in this room, to really work on this and make it integrated into everything we do, so that we actually can save journalism, and it begins with diversity. So with that,